Oftentimes the narcissist hates the situation. They hate what they're being put through. They hate, like, all of a sudden they're the victim because all this stuff is just happening to them. They end up hating the other person because of it as well. But at the same time, sometimes it's conflicting because they feel some type of shame inside that they're causing this. They feel some type of shame inside that the other person is actually leaving them. And it furthers that shame. It furthers that idea that they're the victim even more. A lot of times they don't want that person to leave because they don't want to face, like, disgrace or the idea that other people will look down on them for, like, whatever they've done. Or sometimes they don't want the other person to leave because that is their main form of supply. So narcissists are built upon lies, 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 and lies. So as a result, they're going to continue to lie to themselves, rewrite their history, change how they're viewing whatever story they're telling themselves. And as a result, they're always going to believe themselves to be the victim. They're going to look at past experiences, past relationships, things that have gone on. They're going to say, like, well, this happened. Well, this happened. Well, this happened. It must not be me. Like, I must be the victim here. And they're going to continue to reframe that and rewrite that every single time till the lies become their reality. I think a lot of times they don't see the correlation. They don't understand, like, the hurt and everything that they're doing. All they look for is a way out of the situation, a way out of the problem, a way out of how they're feeling. And they don't know how to feel. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to respond. So as a result, they choose the fastest way or the easiest way. And 9 times out of 10, that's always destructive and hurtful to the other person. Yeah, so the crazy thing about this is the narcissist in the middle of the lie, when the other person has no clue about anything that's going on, they actually think everything's okay. Like, they think, like, this person isn't reacting wrong, like, I'm not doing anything wrong, like, everything's fine. And so when the lie comes out, when they're actually convicted about it, when the other person, like, calls them out on it, when it comes to light of, like, hey, they actually lied, that's when they get upset and they're like, well, yeah, I didn't do this because I knew you'd respond this way. Well, they didn't even connect the dots, like, early on. And in their mind, somehow they were disconnected. So when they were lying and everything was, like, fine, they actually thought everything was, like, fine, even though at the same time they're lying. So a narcissist often doesn't know how to be able to handle when someone shows them love and affection, mainly because that's something they either haven't had in their past or they don't show back to other people, so they're not exactly sure how to be able to handle that emotion. So as a result, whatever they're feeling, whether that's shame, regret, it's maybe some type of guilt or something like that, they want to be able to make the other person feel just as bad. So as a result, they come across as hating the other person, degrading the other person, controlling them, because they want to keep that supply. They want to keep that rush, that control. And as a result, they end up damaging the people that actually love them. This is very true. You have to go no contact with a narcissist. If they're not willing to get help, if they're not growing, if they're not changing, if nothing is changing, like, go no contact, and you have to make sure you stay no contact and keep those boundaries. Otherwise, they're going to still try to contact. They're going to still try to get a hold of you. They're going to still try to form some type of a connection, even if it is tiny. Because, yeah, if they can get a hit off of that one drug, of that addiction, if they can get a hit off that one drug of controlling another person, if they can get hit off that one drug of just being manipulative of someone else's life, they'll do it. So go non-contact, be free. Yeah, so my attachment with the other person who had BPD was really unhealthy. It wasn't beneficial. She would gaslight me. I would gaslight her. She would lie to me. I would find out about it. I would lie to her. She would find out about it. It would just go back and forth. And we'd find each other apologizing for stuff that the other person did. We'd find each other attacking each other and then pulling back, going back and forth, like, all the time. Like, it was just a really, really toxic environment. So whenever I say a narcissist cheats, I normally mean that they do cheat, but it might not be with another person. It could be with another person in an emotional affair. It could be a physical affair. It could just be cheating on you with themselves, of thinking themselves so highly that they put themselves before everybody else, which is what a narcissist typically does. But yes, so narcissists can definitely get supply, and it can come from their job. So, like, for me, it came from my job a lot, and it came from my job with people in my job because I was, like, the best at my job. I was really good at what I did. So as a result, I was the go-to person. Being the go-to person, the know-it-all, the person that everybody wanted to run to, gave me a lot of supply. I met with my pastor today. We stopped and we had coffee, and, like, one of the things that we were talking about today was just, like, the lies that people believe, and the lies that end up, like, hindering people from getting to the truth and hindering people from actually, like, changing their lives. And so growing up in a Christian family and growing up in, like, the realm of Christianity, like, I've always grown up thinking about, like, Christianity, like, you have to have faith, you have to believe, and things like that. And so I always had this illustration given to me of, like, hey, you have faith in this chair, okay? Do you have faith that this chair is going to hold you up? Okay, well, you're not going to understand that, or you're not going to truly show that you have faith unless you sit down in the chair and actually prove it. Prove that you believe this chair actually holds you up. And they would equate that to Christianity of like, hey, like Christianity is more than just having faith. You actually have to have the actions to believe that and to be able to show that you have faith. And as I was talking to him, I was thinking about it today. I was like, that's very true. But the thing that people don't think about is like in that term of illustration of like, do I have faith to be able to sit in the chair? The thing that doesn't get talked about today is the fact of, what if I'm scared of the chair? What if I'm scared of the reality of something is blocking me of getting to that truth, getting me to whatever reality I'm trying to find, but I can't see it because of the lies, because of the trauma, because of abuse, because of whatever might have happened in someone's life. I can't actually get to that point where I can believe, or I can try, or I can accept something because of all the lies of the stuff that's been in my life or that I've put in there. And so as I was thinking through that, I was like, that's great. But oftentimes what comes across in modern day Christianity is just conformity. Just sit in the chair. Just have that faith. Just show it. Just prove it. Just do it. But in reality, they don't actually get to the heart of like, there's some people that don't know how. They don't know how to take that step. They don't know how to actually move to the spot where they show that belief and have that faith and actually sit in the chair because they've been traumatized by that chair. They've been traumatized by father figures in their life. So as a result, they don't know how to equate their life to an almighty father. Or they've had different lies in their life that they don't know how to actually believe that God actually might be good, or that there might be a better reality out there than the one that they're currently living in, because it's all based on lies. And until you start cutting out the lies, until you start being real and raw with yourself to understand, hey, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, this is what I need to fix, this is the problems that I have, you're never going to get anywhere because you don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity to be able to have the faith. You don't have the capacity to be able to learn. You don't have the capacity to be able to trust something if you're blocked by the own lies that you set in your own life. This is very true. The narcissist cares about themselves, and that's it. And as a result, like, they want to be able to protect the mask that they've created through the lies and manipulation that they've had to everybody, including themselves. They want to keep that mask on, because if that mask slips, heaven forbid that mask slips. You don't want to see what's behind that mask, and they don't want to show you what's behind that mask, which is why they hold it up with lies, manipulation, gaslighting, and rewriting their history. So I'm never going to say you're going to be 100% confident that you'll never hear from the narcissist. Like, that's not a guarantee. You never know. They might resurface back in your life like years later. As far as like a narc injury, a lot of times it is hard to be able to injure them because a lot of times they don't feel. They don't have that empathy. They don't even care a lot of times. What I've seen a couple times before is not consistent across the whole board, so don't quote me on this, but sometimes I've seen a narc that gets injured is on some level of some form of like betrayal. Like, if they think they're betrayed, or if the person that they're trying to be with or whatever it might be actually betrays them like 100%, sometimes that can actually cut it off 100%. I'm not suggesting you go out and try that, because that's also very dangerous, especially if the narcissist is on like the sociopathic side. Like, that can be very, very dangerous. So I'm not suggesting that, but I've seen that in a couple instances. If he's a narcissist, then no, it's not real. It's just a way to get back in your life, because he probably doesn't even care about the dog at all.